Hello, everyone. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Rick. Rick is from Portland, in Maine, in the USA. So let's see what Rick has to say. Enjoy the interview. So, hello, Rick. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Very well. Thanks so much for taking the time today for the interview. Thank you.
Sure.
So, tell me,
Thanks
how's
for
your day
having me.
going? How's your day going so far?
My day is going really well. I speak to a pharmacy class 4 times a year about infectious disease. That's what I do for work, and I had that class today. And I'm always just so invigorated by the students. They're second year pharmacy students, and they always have lots of questions and insight, and I just leave there feeling just happy and energized. And it's also a beautiful day here in Maine, so I got to put the top down on my car, which is not hurting the attitude at all. So
Amazing. I can feel your
yeah,
energy. I can feel your great energy today. I can feel it from your
I'm
smile.
I'm glad.
So as you already start talking about your job, so tell me a little bit about your job.
Sure. Yeah, I am the prevention manager for a nonprofit organization called the Franny Peabody Center, and we work with people living with and impacted by HIV. And so my role, I was a case manager for a number of years, which was working with people who were HIV positive. And then when this position became available for prevention, I hopped into it because my background is in training and development, and I'm very passionate about all of the opportunities that we have out there for people who are not HIV positive and how to keep them safe and healthy. And so I love the education and community experience. So yeah.
Amazing, amazing, Rick. I think it's such an amazing opportunity to help people, to educate people, and to show that HIV nowadays is not scary as before. I think nowadays with PrEP, with the old education that people provide, people like helping people and providing the information out there. I think it's rewarding to do something like that because somehow you are helping people and change people's lives.
Well, thank you. That's the goal. And I just have a really good time with it every day. And I feel like I'm giving a little something back to the world and the community. So yeah, it's a every day's a good day.
Amazing. So tell me, where are you from, Rick?
So I'm originally from Vermont, and I moved to Maine back in 2006. So I've been here for a long time, 18 years now. And so I live here in Portland, Maine, and just loving the lobster in the ocean.
And why the change from your hometown to Portland, Maine?
Yeah. I had a long-term partner who is an executive for a food company up here, and their home base is here, and so we needed to move, and so here I am. I'm still in New England, so I still feel home wherever I go in New England. But that was the reason for the big shift.
Amazing. Okay, so during the interview, I'm going to explore a little bit more about your life and also about your journey so far, okay?
Okay.
Rick, before we start our journey within the Magic Box, I would like you to tell me something interesting about yourself or maybe something that not many people know about you.
Ooh, something interesting. I don't find myself to be a terribly interesting person, but I'm extremely sentimental. And so as I've lost grandparents and other loved ones over the years, I've sort of become the person that holds on to the treasures, whatever they may be, in the family, because I'm the preserver of memories,
Oh,
and so I'm just deeply sentimental with sort of all things in life because history matters. So
oh, that's sweet. Fun enough, I had the interview today with a lovely man from Argentina. And there was a question from the Magic Box. What makes you sentimental? I think this question would be the perfect for you.
What makes me sentimental? I think I'm an old soul. So I love I'll give you a real quick example. I have a candy dish that belonged to my great grandmother, and it sits in my dining room. And when I think about that candy dish and I think about all the history that occurred around this item that has just been there for generations, I think to myself, even though I wasn't there, I've heard so many stories about these people, and that candy dish was there through all of those stories. So even though it's an inanimate object, it sort of represents part of who I am just because it was there through all those sort of wild
Wow.
stories of days gone by. So I guess that's what makes me sentimental is I don't know. I love the
Uh,
memories of it all.
Amazing. Rick, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and share your point of views?
Okay. Yeah, I
Am-
am.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So this is our best friend. Full of random fun questions. I'm just gonna play a song now just for us to relax a bit before the first question, okay?
Okay.
Let's do it. Right, so before we start the game, during the journey, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about, some reason you don't want to answer, always game change, okay?
Okay.
First question for you is, what bad habit wish you could stop?
Ooh, I vape. I picked it up like 4 years ago. I was out with friends having drinks, and I'm not much. I'm not a substance guy, right? Even drinking, it's very social for me. But there's something about vaping that just gives me something to do when I'm bored, and I know it's a filthy habit. So I wish I could stop it, but
When you think about yourself, when you analyze yourself, Rick, what do you like the most about being you? What do you like the most about being Rick?
what do I like the most about being me? Um I live my life with kindness, and I try to be really kind to people. And sometimes that can't happen, just sort of based on life circumstances. But for the most part, um, I think that kindness always wins and kindness always moves society forward. And so I work really hard to be that person, even in times when I think it would be fair to maybe not be. And so I kind of like that about myself. Yeah.
Amazing. Next question. Let's do it. Next question for you is, right, if you meet someone sad in the streets, yeah, what would be your advice or your approach to this person?
Just a random person
Yeah,
in the street.
yeah,
Um, I guess my advice would be to it's never too late to be yourself. And I think that sometimes we struggle with finding ourselves and who we are. And we get into a place where we're like, oh, I'm 45 or I'm 55 or I'm 25. And I can't figure that out at this point because society has put these expectations on us. And it's never too late. You can find yourself and be yourself and love your brand at any age, at any time in life. So,
I love that. I love that. I think it's so it is great to know that life is going to be up and down, and aging something as well, that all of us go through that, and you just need to live the moments and enjoy whatever is happening to you. And those sad and those down moments, they are so necessary that sometimes we don't realize that.
right. I agree. Yeah. I also think we get one shot at this. And so just enjoy it. So, good, bad, or indifferent, every day is a good day. So, you know.
Amazing. Next one, let's do it. Right, so before the next question, let's see. I come to Portland for the very first time, yeah? what's something that I can't miss it, something that I need to see or to visit or to experience? What would you suggest?
Oh gosh. I mean, so we're on the coast, we're on the East Coast, and during the summer, it is absolutely beautiful here. The beaches are beautiful, the weather is perfect. It's so I think if you come to Portland, you have to see the ocean from an East Coast perspective, and you have to eat lobster because that's our thing, right? Is lobster. So we'll feed you lobster on the ocean.
How far are you from the beach?
Oh, about 10 minutes.
Oh my God, lucky you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Next question
You
for
can
you.
tell by my lack of tan that I never make it there, but we're very close.
Next question is, tell us something that you have done that you feel very proud of yourself.
Oh, I think, what have I done that I feel proud about myself? I finished my PhD, so that was sort of a big deal. And I think actually the work that I'm doing right now makes me most proud because I feel like I'm finally contributing to um, I'm just finally contributing to society rather than just sort of making my way through it. And so I guess it would be a toss up between the two. The PhD was a long time coming, but the work now is amazing. So
Wow. And all your family are back in your hometown or they are in different parts of the US?
they're sort of spread around, mostly on the East Coast. My sister and my dad and my grandmother are still in Vermont. My mom lives in Florida, so I sort of get the best of the East Coast.
Which person in your family you are more close to or you are more in touch with?
Um, Gosh, I'm very, very, very close with my mom. I'm a total mama's boy.
Oh,
But my sister is sort of my person. I think we're about 4 years apart. She's younger than me, and we go to each other with any sort of big life stuff first. So yeah, but I am definitely a mama's boy for sure.
right. So let's say now that I'm sure your mom, she's watching this interview right now at this moment, and you have a moment, an opportunity to send her a message or to say something. What would you say right now?
I think that when God creates perfect mothers, he uses mine as the mold.
Oh my God, that's beautiful. I love that. And I can see a lot of people disagreeing with you right now
Right.
because they think their mom are the best, always.
Everybody's mom is the best. So.
I love it. Next question. Right. Next question is, tell me, what does your best friends, what do they do that comforts you the most?
um, so I have a couple of best friends. My friends always joke that I have a lot of best friends, but I'm very blessed to have people close to me. And what I love about my friends is that they are tough love. So if I need to be called out on something, I tend to have a strong personality when sort of presenting in work and life, and they are unimpacted by that. So they tell me, they just call it out, tell me how it is, and I go to them when I need that in life because they center me. So yeah.
Oh, and most of your best friends, they live as well in Portland.
Yeah, one of them lives about 4 minutes away from me, and she's my ride or die. And then the other two live actually back in Vermont. So yeah.
Oh, amazing. Next question, let's do it. Before the next question, Rick, I'm gonna ask you two questions in one, two questions in one part. Okay. The first
Okay.
part of the question is HIV. In your opinion, what's the biggest misconception that people still have from HIV? And the other part of the question is, do you think that they're gonna find a cure one day for HIV?
Well, I'm happy you asked that second part of the question for sure. I think the biggest part the biggest misconception right now is that TV and film do a really excellent job of depicting what HIV and AIDS was, right? Before the good meds came out in the 80s and early 90s. And so that's an excellent representation of the struggles that individuals living with HIV went through. What is not great well represented right now is how far the medications have come, and what normal healthy, whatever you call normal lives, individuals can live. They can have normal healthy social lives and relationships, and they can have children naturally if they're undetectable. And so we need to be better about spreading that message. So that's the biggest misconception at this time right now. As far as a cure, I believe that prevention is the cure, right? I think that we've been looking for a magic pill or a magic shot for so many years for a cure. And I think the answer is education and prevention, right? Get people who are HIV positive undetectable, which is very easy to do now with the new medications. And people who are high risk, let's get them on PrEP or PEP, and then the combination of those two, I think, will lead to the cure. But a lot of that is going to cycle around educating people about all of those things. So
Amazing. Right. Next question is, what do you consider most romantic?
Ooh, most romantic. I think the most romantic thing I've personally ever experienced is I went on a date with this guy, 150 years ago, because I'm a middle-aged man of a certain age now. And he cooked me dinner at his house, and he made me what was called a chocolate pizza. And it was just this brownie with like all these delicious jams and fruits and stuff on it.
Wow.
And it introduced me to some music that I had never heard before. And so for me, that was romantic because it was very personal and it was very about the experience that we were having. So I think just personal connection and really sort of reading that person you can make for really romantic times. It doesn't have to be grand gestures.
Do you consider yourself to be a romantic person?
Yeah, very. Yeah, I think it pairs well with my sentimental side. So I try to deliver these romantic experiences, and then we can think about them 20 years down the road. So
Amazing. 3 questions left. Let's do it.
okay.
Next question for you is, what talent do you wish you had?
Oh, I wish I could sing. Oh gosh, I wish I could sing. I think I can when I'm by myself in my car. I'm basically Adele in my own mind, but I wish I had that talent in real life. I have artists in general I'm in awe of, because I that's not how my brain works. But singing particularly is an art that I wish I could express.
How about this guitar behind you, this beautiful guitar? It's just a decoration or something, the meaning behind?
I just love music, and so this wall sort of speaks to my sentimental. Everything on this wall was an experience I had or a gift that was given to me, and so I just made music the center of it because I think that music just sort of cures your soul, or I don't know, just sort of aids in whatever good experience you're having. So I think music should be the center of our lives. But
wow, I totally agree. I think I can't live without music. I think music brings you such a great energy. Even sometimes when you are so down for some moment, or you are feeling, not the best, put some music on, and even this sad feeling, it's good, it's great, feels great.
I agree. It just like it hits you right here, right where you need it. So yeah.
Who's your favorite artist that you listen to the most?
Wow. Who do I listen to the most? I'm sort of loving Dua Lipa at the moment. I think she's brilliant. However, Aerosmith is my just, they are my god of rocks. If I would worship at their temple if such a thing existed. So I think Steven Tyler and Joe Perry are just, they, when I think of rock stars, they are what I think of. So they're my all-time favorite, but Dua Lipa is pretty cool for this moment.
Amazing. 2 questions left. Let's do it.
Okay.
Before the next question, tell me how was for you growing up as a gay boy? Tell me about your experience. And also, how is being gay in Portland? Do you feel safe? Do you feel you can express yourself the way you are? Or it can be a bit tricky?
Yeah. Growing up gay was tricky because I grew up in a very loving, but very conservative and religiously staunch family. And so in my mind, being gay wasn't an option because that was sort of, it was just sort of the opposite of what we were taught to believe. And again, it all came from love, and it was intended to come from the right place, but it was misdirected belief. What I found is that when I came out as an adult, because I was actually in my early 20s when I finally came out, I was surrounded by love. And so even the people who I thought wouldn't accept it, some of them, it took a while. They had to sort of get to it in their mind, but they were just amazing and loving and kind. And I recognize that not everyone has that experience, but my family was that for me. And so I'm very grateful. Unfortunately, I didn't get to have the fun gay youth experience, but I made up for it in my 20s. So, and as far as Portland, yeah, Portland is, we are a very accepting city. So I feel very safe as a gay man. I have a boyfriend and we go places together, and I feel safe with him. He's a punk rocker. He always has fun hair colors and a mohawk, and he's sort of the, he's my sassy little ginger. But so I feel safe. Portland's a great city. Maine is a great state, and I think in general, New England is a pretty safe space for LGBT individuals. Yeah.
Okay. Next question is, who was your favorite teacher and why?
My favorite teacher. Oh God, I had a lot of them because I really loved school. I get so excited about education. Any of them watch this, I don't want to offend any, so I'm going to start by saying you were all my favorite. But there was one. His name was Mr. Parks. He was my science teacher, and he actually just recently passed away. But he was a science teacher, and he allowed me my senior year of school to do an independent study, which was a really big deal in the school at the time. And I did it on heart transplants and the psychological effects post-transplant. And he was my biggest cheerleader and just amazing. And I was so lucky. So I've been out of school for 27 years now. I was so lucky. He and his wife came to Maine for vacation, and I ended up having dinner with them the year before he passed away, and got pictures with him, and just, it was such a good experience. So he was my heart. But all of my teachers were pretty great. I loved learning, so it was a great experience for me. So
wow, beautiful.
Yeah.
Ready for the last one?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. Last question. But before the last question, since you've been working, with HIV, like educating, helping people, tell me a moment or a situation that you could share that you're never going to forget for any reason, for some reason, touch your heart, or something that you're never going to forget, if you can share.
Yeah, I had so I work with a lot of medical providers, and one in particular I'm very close with. And she had an individual who had tested positive for HIV. And this individual was very surprised by it, very lost, felt very alone. And she said, call Rick. I'm going to give you this guy's number, and he's amazing. He's a great navigator, and he can really help you with stuff. And so he said, So apparently he did, and I didn't realize it, but I was at a show and I was at an event about a year ago, and he said, this individual stood up and said, "There are two people who saved my life, and I'd like to call them out. One of them is, and he said the person and why, and he said, and the other person doesn't know that I'm going to say his name, so I'm going to put him on the spot a little bit. And he said that that guy's name is Rick Sprague, and he shared that his status had changed and that he was feeling. There was one night where he was feeling particularly down and like he wasn't going to be able to go on. And he said that he called my number at 11 p.m. and did not say who he was, didn't give his name. And apparently, I don't really remember it, but I guess I talked to him for 2 hours and just told him how everything was going to be okay. And that we would get through this and I could help him navigate. And whenever he felt comfortable to tell me who he was and everything about that, to reach out to me and I would be there for him. And so apparently that experience for him saved his life. And that was maybe the most humbling, I'm getting emotional just thinking about it, but that was probably the most humbling experience I have had in life, because I didn't know that I had that impact on someone. And so it made me feel like what I'm trying to do, even if that's the only person that ever helps, I feel like maybe I helped somebody. And so I'm so glad that happened, and I'm so humbled by it. So, yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. My God, I want to clap for you right now. My God, it's beautiful. That's what I believe. I think now sometimes you never know the big impact that you can give in people's lives. Sometimes just with some words, sometimes just with some attention, and you never know. You never know the other side. You never know what people are feeling. And sometimes a comforting, message, a comforting information. People. It's a good example. You can change people's lives. And my God, I got goosebump now. Look, oh my goodness, it's beautiful. Beautiful, Rick. And people, they appreciate that. And this person, for sure, he meant it, every word he said, because, he got literally changed this person's lives. Oh my God, amazing. I'm glad you shared this story. And I think it's very inspiring. People never know sometimes, being kind and, just be there for people. You never know how the big impact that you can give to people's lives. Amazing. Good. Very good. Last question is, what is the worst thing someone can say on a first date?
So many things. I'm not going to make this political, so I'll leave that out. But what's the worst thing someone can say? I think just generally, and this sort of goes back to my kindness. I think if someone is unkind to wait staff or condescending, or is critical of someone, that is the most disgusting turn off to me. Because you never know anybody's story, and why be mean? Everybody's living their life and being their best, and so I don't know that it's a specific thing that someone can say, but it's certainly things that someone could say that all sort of fall under that umbrella of just unkind or mean or judgmental, and I just don't like that stuff, and so they would not get a second date from me. They can't have a date anyway because my boyfriend would be really angry with me. But if I were single, they wouldn't get a second.
I love it. Right, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game, okay? I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Thinking. Okay. Let's start with money.
Ooh, evil.
Fear.
Weakness.
Family.
Love.
Life.
Amazing.
One word for love.
I want to say all-encompassing. Can I hyphenate that?
It's okay. One word for sex.
Yum.
Ooh, religion.
Evil.
Politics,
The most evil.
friendship,
Love.
desire,
Passion.
regret,
Unnecessary.
success.
Eh,
Okay.
it's
We,
subjective.
yeah,
Subjective.
absolutely. Wish,
Happiness.
and one word for happiness.
Kindness.
One word for Portland.
Fun.
One word for Maine.
Comfortable.
USA, one word.
Learning.
I like that. And the last one now, HIV, one word.
Scary.
See, okay?
Yeah.
Let's pretend I'm going to meet your lovely boyfriend for a coffee, and I'm going to ask him, define Rick in one positive word and one negative word only, what he would say.
Generous would be the positive word. Kind or generous. I don't know which one. And chatty for my negative. He always tells me that I talk too much. So he always tells me if I got paid by the word, I'd be the richest man in the world. So
What's your star sign astrology?
Capricorn.
Interesting. December.
Early January.
January. Okay.
Yeah.
My sister is Capricorn.
Okay. My mom is too, actually. So there's two of us. So.
But she's at the end of December, close to Christmas. Okay. Yeah. Let's play now, Rick, and the magic box, and you can ask me a question. But before you ask me the question, Rick, people watch this interview right now. You know, they would you like to maybe to get more knowledge about PrEP, HIV, you know, educate themselves more about HIV and how to protect themselves, or, you know, to break some stigmas around. What would be your best piece of advice for those people?
Yeah, I think that reading art, we all have a tendency to go down rabbit holes and read things and sort of watch videos that don't necessarily have scientific basis, and those are important for people when you want to have personalized experiences. But if you want to really learn about it and you want current information, I think that thebody.com is a really great place to go. They have really they have great up to date information, and I'm not affiliated with them at all. I just think that they're a great site. They also have people living with who can share their experiences. So for people who are scared or maybe newly diagnosed, they can sort of read from long-term survivors and also new people with the new diagnosis. So I think that's great. And of course, you could always come to my site as well, the peabodycenter.org, and we'll direct you to all the good places. But it's an amazing organization, and we focus just on facts and kindness and taking care of people. So so that would be my recommendation. And then you can watch all those other fun videos and on YouTube that are very personalized, but get some facts first, and then you can personalize it to yourself. So.
Amazing. Good one. You can ask me a question now.
Okay, so I'm so fascinated by you. I've been watching your videos since we spoke, and I love your approach to people. I love sort of the happiness and kindness that you exude in your interviews, and it just seems so genuine. And I'm really intrigued by what motivates you to be so genuine as a person and an interviewer.
Oh, wow, Rick. Great question. My goodness. Do you know what? I'm going to go back to my childhood. You know, growing up, I've been really fortunate that, you know, my parents, they let me be free. You know, I remember, I didn't realize at the time growing up, but now when I look back, I realized that, you know, I never had situation. It wasn't easy. Like I'm saying, I thought, I had my troubles as well, like everyone else. However, when I look back, I think that I always been very fortunate to express the way I am. I had situations in my life that made me learn and grow and understand myself, me, and people around me as well. And I think, I don't know. I think I've learned. I'm learning every day. Like be yourself. It doesn't matter. You know how you're gonna come across, you're gonna be judged anyway somehow. But I think what I believe is I try to be myself the most I can, even though, and I think on the show here, I practice this every single interview. That's, as you said, I think it shows because, I'm here just expressing myself. I'm here letting people express themselves as well. I'm learning. You have no idea, since I started doing the show, you have no idea how much I've learned, about different topics that I never heard before in my life. So I think here at the show, it's this kindness just come from. I think it's exchange here. You know what I mean? I couldn't express myself the way I am if the other parts, like you, couldn't express the way you are. And I think if it's just we are sharing energy right now. Here we are sharing a moment that it makes me happy. We are the other side of the world right now, and I'm here, and I feel so connected with you. I feel I'm talking to you like next door. I feel like so connected, so close. And I think it is all about being myself, or try to be myself the most I can. And and this show for me, it's the best. It brings the best of me. I think that's why I got the answer for you now. The show brings the best of me. I could do that for 24 hours no stop, because I feel so grateful to be able to connect with so amazing people around the world. And and they educating people, as you just did right now, explain a little bit more about HIV and stigmas and everything. So I think when I'm here, I just remember that I'm recording when I look here on the side, because when I don't look there, I just feel like I'm talking to a friend. And I think that's why, it comes across natural. And, because it's the best of me. I feel happy. I feel the happiest when I'm here, doing the interview. I think that's why it comes across like that. Yeah.
I love it.
Did you enjoy the interview?
Yeah, I loved it. It was super fun. I was looking forward to talking with you.
Thanks so
Uh,
much. Thanks for taking the time. I think nowadays we are so busy with our lives, and when someone take their time for us, it's the biggest gift you can have, because I know how busy we can be. Before we go, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
Anything I live by. Yeah. Pablo Picasso said, I'm gonna get the words jumbled a little bit, but I read a quote from him one time, and it said, essentially, leave until tomorrow what you're willing to die having left undone. And so, I said it earlier, but we get one shot at this. In my view, we get one shot at this, and so. Um, Make it good, and live your life, and hug your family, and play with your friends, because nobody knows, right, what's next. And so just enjoy it, and good, bad, or indifferent, every day is a good day. So if you I take that to heart, and I try my best to live that, and just enjoy it while it's here.
Um, Through your words right now, you just made me, think a little bit, and I would like to ask another question for you based on what you just said right now. What's the meaning of life for you?
I think maybe this is cliche, but I think the meaning of life, for me at least, is kindness, right? I mean, because we're an evolved species who can show those emotions on a grand scale. And so why not? Because there's so many dark and bad things in the world, that I think at the core of everything is kindness. And from that comes love and happiness and generosity and all of those other things. But it has to start with kindness. So I think that for me, that's the meaning of life. So
Amazing. Thank you very much. Regards to your boyfriend, to your family, and you keep in touch, okay? It was a pleasure having you on the show, okay?
sounds great. Thank you.
Take care, Eric. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.